I always said that I didn't want to be in a relationship because I was kind of on my own wave and I didn't want anyone getting in the way of that. So the fact that Liana kind of does the same thing as me and we share the same love for social media and video creation, it just makes it so much easier for me.
Andrew,
Yes.
I can't help but feel that we haven't had enough backlash lately. We haven't stirred the pot. So let's take a break from talking about the absolute worst of the worst family vloggers on YouTube and instead talk about a family that a lot of people really like.
Okay.
You probably recognize Connor and Liana even if you don't know them by name. They're best known for videos with their little boy, who is undeniably a cutie patootie. They recently welcomed a new asset to their portfolio, a sweet baby girl. Connor and Liana are charismatic. They're blonde usually. They're likable. Well, Liana is likable. We'll talk about Connor.
I've watched a few older videos when I didn't call you Babby.
Liana. It's Liana.
It was just so... when I hear myself saying it, it sounds so wrong.
Yeah, it does.
It's disgusting. And if you say Connor, sometimes when my parents are around, you'll call me and say Connor, and I just think, you never say that.
You might see clips in this video that you find enraging or maybe even just a little annoying. Whatever you do, don't go over to their channels and leave mean comments or harass them in any way. I don't condone that, and also any attention is good attention for influencers. The best way to discourage them from posting the content they've been posting is by simply not engaging with any of their social medias. You've no doubt gathered by now that just like in our last video, we have to learn to live with the fact that Connor and Liana are British.
Oh.
British family vloggers are really strange to me because I see family vlogging as a very American phenomenon. If you watch this channel, you know that family vlogging evolved out of Mormon culture and their emphasis on family record keeping. It's grown in popularity in the US as a propaganda tool for trad wives and evangelicals and other factions of the American right. When channels like American Road Trip, Happy Caravan, or Carissa Collins put their kids online, they claim that God called them to cultivate an online following. So I've been thinking of family vlogging as very reactionary and political, but it's also a way to not have a regular job, and I shouldn't lose sight of that. Connor and Liana's Britishness really becomes an issue when they tried to hop on the van life trend.
And we've driven right into the rain and the traffic.
This is the true van life UK scenario. Just
Yeah,
traffic.
it's so funny because everyone that we've watched do van life are from
Canada,
well,
America,
not UK,
here.
not UK.
Their van lifing was mostly just them going on little trips. If you follow van life on YouTube, you might be thinking of people who like actually live in their van. Connor and Liana never been that type of channel. You can see why British van life wouldn't be the easiest.
Let's get to camping.
It's raining.
It's raining, yeah, it's raining. Should we go home?
No one wants to camp in the rain, even in a van. There's a reason why van lifers tend to pop up in Mexico, California, and Arizona. Just like there's a reason why Morgan & Morgan, sponsor of today's video, is America's largest injury law firm. If you're visiting a van life hotspot like Joshua Tree or the Grand Canyon, and you get mowed down by a mommy vlogger in a Sprinter van, you may get a lowball offer from your insurance. Don't take it lying down, like so much roadkill. Morgan & Morgan's results speak for themselves. In Pennsylvania, a client was awarded $26 million, 40 times the insurer's $650,000 offer. One Florida client got $20 million when the last offer was $0. In total, Morgan & Morgan has recovered over $30 billion for more than 500,000 clients. In the event you're injured because of someone else's negligence, you deserve to be paid. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. Thank you to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring this video. You can click the link in the description or in the pinned comment to visit their website. Their son, who I'll be calling Snuggie, is a precocious toddler who spoke in full sentences fairly early. Snuggie is not his real name, but it's also not far off. They spell it something like SNUUGHY. Like that kind of thing. If you're not familiar with our channel, we don't put minors in our videos and we don't use their real name. Also, I forgot to mention, but I don't like to filter or censor my comment section, but I am going to block the kids' real name. So if you do want to comment anything regarding the children, just remember not to use their real names. Liana makes cute little videos surprising him with crafts and outings and parties. I don't blame people for liking these videos. They're really cute. And if you don't think about the fact that this kid is, at least in part, financially supporting his parents, it comes off as pretty banal and wholesome. I made a post asking a question about Connor and Liana, and I saw a couple people saying that they didn't think that Connor and Liana feature their kids too heavily on their channel, so they were surprised that I wanted to cover them. The kids are less front and center on YouTube, but if you look at the short form content, it is very baby-centric. To the people who say like, oh, I don't think they feature their kid that much, in a recent video they go to meet Snow White. They go to meet Rachel Zegler, the actress who played Snow White, and when she sees him she says, I've seen your TikToks.
I've seen your TikTok.
Oh.
No, you have not. I have seen. No, you haven't. Have you actually? You are so well spoken, young man. Oh, yes.
A total stranger immediately recognize you. I think that suggests that maybe your kid is pretty popular online. Connor and Liana have a strong parasocial bond with their regular viewers, and I fully expect them to not like this video and to let me know. I see lots of comments on their channel where people say stuff like, I love watching your videos and I feel like I'm a part of your sweet little family. I've covered some truly heinous family vloggers on this channel, and I started our previous video on the Saucony Jolies with, these people should be in prison. I don't feel that way about Connor and Liana. In our videos, we're critiquing family vloggers of all flavors, not just the very worst. No matter how likable you may find them. Let me just say that nice, likable people can still do bad things. Making money off of your kids performing for the camera creates an inevitable conflict of interest. Children cannot consent to having their lives publicized, and as far as I'm aware, outside of Utah, there are zero financial protections for YouTube child stars. There have been calls, including by the grown daughter of former family vlogger and convicted child Ruby Frankie, to pass laws protecting child influencers. Utah recently passed HB 322, a law which requires vloggers who make over a certain amount to establish trust funds for their children. I'm not aware of any similar laws in the UK, and even if Connor and Liana are putting aside money for little Snuggie, he has no way of knowing how this will affect him later in life. And no matter how precocious you are, you cannot negotiate a fair appearance fee when you're a toddler. In my opinion, Connor and Liana exploit the parasocial affection their audience has for their son in really cynical ways. In one video called We Got an Unexpected Call, Snuggie's grandparents volunteered to take him on a trip, so Connor and Liana go on a kid-free adventure in Greece. While they're abroad, they get a text from a grandparent informing them that their toddler is quite sick.
So basically, we were sitting there in the morning drinking our coffee and found out that in the night, he had a trip to the hospital in an ambulance. His temp was really high, and obviously that is horrific when you're not there for your child.
It was the fact that she said that he was shivering, but he was also a bit kind of like delusional, like he was talking to the cats, like the cats were there.
Yeah, it was really strange text to receive.
The video is about their vacation in Greece, but they shoehorn this health update in at the very end. I think so they could make an interesting thumbnail. Like there was no reason to include it otherwise. Like the thumbnail is, we got this scary call, and then the call is just 1 minute at the end of the video. It's like, did we need this? And in my opinion, of all the things that you should keep off the internet, your child's medical history is near the top of the list. And I also think making money off your audience's parasocial concern for your sick son is obviously a little dystopian. In a popular recent video, Liana reveals her postpartum belly. Her son is saying of her stomach, "It isn't perfect, but it's great."
I think it's perfect, but I do think it's great.
I'll admit that as a mom with 2 little kids, I definitely did find this moving. But I'm forced to ask, ma'am, is this your emotional support baby? This is a very vulnerable moment, and I think it's impossible to predict how Snuggy will feel about this when he's older. It's great for you, Liana, to have such a tender moment with your son, but your little boy is going to be an angsty teen. And like a lot of child stars, he might have a difficult time reconciling the identity he forges for himself with the cutesy patootsy version of him that you put online. What do you think of what I just said there?
I like cutesy patootsy.
Okay. Some of the families we've covered definitely would not get significant views if they didn't have a lot of kids. Connor and Liana definitely can get views on their own, which almost makes it worse. Like, you don't need to do this. In the late 2010s, Connor was posting singing videos and skits that feature a classic annoying woman character.
Their show has one of those too?
Snoring very loudly. Have you tried, counting sheep or, I don't know, just close your eyes? I've already tried that. It doesn't work. Maybe try counting down from 100. I don't know. Just leave me alone, okay? I'm tired. I've got to be up early tomorrow. Oh, you really don't care about me, do you? No, look, don't cry, okay? Look, just give me a hug. Come here.
Oh, that dry British wit.
Never have I ever made an embarrassing video that now I regret. I have.
Absolutely not.
Really?
I've never regretted
all your
any-
videos on your TikTok feed.
I don't care.
Not a single one.
If I cared, I'd delete them. I don't care.
Yeah,
I've never
I guess
cared.
so.
You know that I don't care. I've never cared what people think about me.
I believe they met through social media, at least that's what it looks like in their old TikToks.
He put me in one of his YouTube videos,
Oh.
saying I was 19 at the time, saying that I was 16.
It was
And
for a
then-
skit though. It was funny. No?
Was it?
Yeah. And then her fans were like, "Oh my goodness, Connor put you in a YouTube video," and then she slid in my DMs. She caught my eye, let's say.
Yeah.
You did.
16-year-old.
That
yeah?
was for the skit. I knew you weren't 16.
With Liana and Connor, once again, we have a couple that divides the internet. Liana has a lot of goodwill, and Connor, not so much. One ongoing storyline on their channel has been Liana waiting for Connor to propose.
Will you marry me?
Not with that ring.
It's there, it's just invisible.
That's right, they aren't married, in spite of the fact they have a video from 2020 entitled Our Wedding Video. That was, in fact, an ad for an event space. But the fact that this video exists confuses people to this day. Connor has responded in, sorry Andrew, but classic man fashion.
Oh no, that's okay.
That he is not ready for marriage.
I want to get married one day, obviously, and of course, I love Liana all the way to the moon and back, so she's definitely the girl I want to marry. But it's not even that I'm not, well, it is that I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
How many kids do they have together?
2.
Okay. Is he ready for that?
So I don't care. I'm not a prude. Andrew is, but I am not a Puritan. I don't
No.
care if people don't get married. But it is a little awkward when one half the couple has made it very clear that they want a proposal.
How to get a man to propose. Give yourself time and importance. Start spending more time with your friends. Hi, you're right. Yeah, long time no see, Busy life, baby, boyfriend. And my personal favourite, tell him you have options.
I've got options.
Sorry.
We have to always keep in mind that like maybe this is all just a show for YouTube and she doesn't actually care, but they just know like this is interesting to people. You never know, you never know.
And I'd just like to say that I'm not upset that he didn't propose. I know that he's going to.
She plays on it. It's just a bit of fun. We have banter
It is a
like
bit
that.
of fun.
Sometimes you guys don't understand our banter, but it is banter.
Liana says that she can't propose and that she has to let Connor do it because she ruined the moment when he was going to ask her to be his girlfriend and film it and upload it to YouTube. I'll let her tell that story.
Connor wants to propose to me, and the reason for that being is I kind of stole his moment. Now you may or may not have seen the video where he asks me to be his girlfriend, but the thing is, we were already boyfriend and girlfriend when that happened. Distance at this time, and Connor's come down to Wales to come and see me. It's the night before he leaves, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, okay, life's too short, just do it. My heart's pounding. Liana, you need to ask him because, you know, we've been seeing each other for ages now. My heart's racing. I'm like, will you go out with me? He's a bit hesitant, and I'm like, oh no, what have I done? Because he doesn't answer the question straight away. Then he says, of course I'll go out with you. Fast forward to the next day. We go to a beach. Connor tells me he wants to film something. He pulls off his jumper and it says, will you be my girl? He had planned to ask me out the entire trip, and I ruined it. Which is why Connor made me promise that he could be the one to propose and that I wouldn't do it.
Basically, you can't propose to me because you have to let me use it for content. On a video where she talks jokingly about preparing for a proposal.
I was getting into my car this morning when I realised, as much as I want it, I'm not sure if I'm ready for a proposal. Which may come as a shock to some because I have done my fair share of hinting. But there is just so much I haven't taken into consideration. First of all, what face would I make? Hopefully not that one.
In the comments, you'll see some viewers getting a little upset on her behalf, like, Connor, grow up. Liana deserves the commitment she wants. And she responds, oh, you guys just don't understand our sense of humor. Don't even bother watching the rest of our videos because you just don't get our humor. Before they had their own children to put in front of the camera, Connor and Liana were happy to borrow children for that purpose. Liana used to regularly feature her niece in her Instagram and made a few YouTube videos with her as well. In one video, the theme is turning her 21 for a day. In the video, they buy her makeup and put her in a more adult-looking outfit and pretend to buy her coffee and a cocktail.
No.
Why stop there? I say buy her cigarettes, take her to a gun range. I guess I don't have those in England. Take her on a fox hunt. Up the ante, come on. I'm not going to show you the footage, obviously, but I will say this girl, in my opinion, looks very camera shy. And they're either oblivious to that or they don't care because they know a cute kid will get people to like and subscribe. I've noticed that this is a pattern. The LeBrants, Bella and Dallin, the Zacconi Jolies, I'm probably forgetting some others, they all made content featuring younger relatives before they decided to have their own kids. Part of me wonders if that's when they realized with these videos, like, hey, this is good money. To be clear, I don't think that making money is the only reason these people had babies. I just wonder if that was a factor in their decision making or timing. People familiar with the family vlogging space will inevitably see similarities between Connor and Liana and Matt and Abby, and I will say I agree that the similarities are striking. They're young and cute and they have 2 kids. Unfortunately, Abby and Liana have now both announced pregnancies only to have to very publicly deal with miscarriage. Connor started out on TikTok with singing videos.
I'm on my way, driving at 90 down those country lanes.
Similarly to Matt, his lyrics heavily reference his family life, i.e. the thing that got him his current audience.
Put a smile on my face and play the part to hide the pain, cause there's a couple kids in the backseat. It's funny how you think you know just what you want when you're 8-year-olds dressing up as Spider-Man. When you're certain you're nothing short of a miracle, you're a blessing. Alright.
Another Matt and Abby similarity, a heavily criticized podcast where they air their marital grievances. I'm going to say what I said in our Matt and Abby video. There simply is no good way to monetize your personal life. But I don't actually have to tell them. They already found out the hard way. And they recently canceled the podcast because Connor did not like the reaction to a clip from the podcast where he criticized Liana for having dirty diapers around during the very early newborn phase with their second child.
Just before we left now to come here, about 6 nappies by the side of your side of the bed.
Right, because I had to do all the nappy changes in the night.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying they never make it downstairs.
Oh. I was going to say...
Doesn't matter. I'm not saying you don't ever do it. I'm just saying that you don't prioritise cleaning up the mess. Which is fine.
I don't even know if you guys know, but we had a podcast. We don't anymore. So we've come here to kind of close the podcast, which is why I thought we'd just tell you why we're closing the podcast, because you might be like, wait a minute, why are you closing the podcast?
I said it from the start, and I'll say it again.
Yeah?
I always said that I wouldn't do a podcast because everything gets taken out of context in clips.
Yeah.
And what happened?
Taking out context and clips.
And what have we learnt?
Don't do a podcast.
No, what have we learnt?
Don't speak about mental health issues.
No, what have we learnt?
But that's one, obviously. You probably all saw the clips that were taken out of context, or whatever you believe. We're not here to try and sway opinions. I think people forget that the podcast is like a long conversation where we just talk about our lives, and if you clip in 10 seconds from that, people can make you sound like you're saying anything.
He blamed his ADHD on not being able to tolerate a mess and complained that people criticizing him had taken him out of context, saying basically, oh, I guess I'm not allowed to talk about mental health.
In the clip that you saw, I told our audience that Liana would leave nappies by the side of the bed and they'd just stack up through the night, and that she didn't prioritise cleaning the mess in the morning. Now obviously I can see how horrible that sounds from an outsider's perspective, which is why I'm not judging anyone in that comment section. But if they would have just let the clip roll on 30 seconds longer, you would have heard me say that we've always prioritised Liana being mummy first, and I pick up the slack.
You've always prioritised the kids, which is perfect. That's how it should be, and that's why I've always kind of picked up on the housework.
I did pick up the nappies in the morning. I didn't moan about it. I didn't even tell Liana. I picked them up like I do most mornings, and I put them in the bin. The person that clipped this segment knew exactly what they were doing, and unfortunately they got people to bite. It made me look like I was shaming Liana, which is horrible for anyone to do, but in reality I was just giving an example of how my ADHD would make me feel with mess. However, upon reflection, I realised that I probably shouldn't have even said that publicly, because it's really not something that anyone needs to know. And although Liana doesn't actually care, a lot of you think she does. Again, creating things like, oh, I can see it in her eyes, she's really upset, but she isn't. Liana is more than capable to stand up for herself. She is a very strong woman. If she didn't like the way I was talking to her, then she would absolutely make her voice heard. I can't lie, this situation did take me out for a couple of days. Seeing people switch on me so quickly genuinely hurt. I could post a million clips of positive moments with my children and family, which is the majority of our life, believe it or not, but they just wouldn't want to see that because they thrive on hate.
He claims that he understands what people didn't like about the clip, so then why are you going on and canceling the podcast and posting these responses, these lengthy responses? It's always amazing to me when people make their living as influencers and they share their personal lives and are thin-skinned crybaby little weenies. I do think that people are going a bit far when they call Connor an abuser based on this clip. Like, you never know what's going on behind the scenes, but I don't think that that's fair to conclude based on what I've shown you so far. Having a bunch of diapers around, yuck, that is rough. In the newborn stage, we're talking about poopy diapers, so that is an issue. But postpartum can hit you like a truck. Speaking for myself, postpartum with our first child is the first time I felt like I experienced real clinical depression. Someone leaving a bunch of diapers around at that stage is not someone who is bad at cleaning, but someone who needs help. So maybe we say, hey, let's put a trash can right at the foot of the bed where you can reach it. And it's also just hard to hear a mom with a new baby being chastised by her partner. But this is part of their dynamic, and he regularly makes fun of her for not cleaning.
Goodness, you're cleaning! What is wrong with you? This whole nesting thing really is a thing. Shut up. I can't believe it. I think we should get pregnant more often.
Let's address a common comment defending Connor and this type of thing that he says. Is this British humor? From what I've observed, there is a higher tolerance among British people for interpersonal teasing that can come across as mean to, I think, a lot of Americans.
Oh my, Liana's belly button stinks. She gets so happy that when she gets pregnant, it comes out so she can actually clean it.
Shut up, Babby man.
It annoys me that I secretly wish I could change about you. Yeah, I'll tell you, it's the eating. It's how loud you eat and smack you. Doesn't matter what you're eating, she could be eating the quietest food the world has ever created, and she'd still make a noise.
You eat loud, but it doesn't bother you.
Mine's a chocolate cough. I've had some chocolate.
Mine's a chocolate cough. Guys, you're about to see a very rare sighting of Liana doing something efficient. Oh, I think I've disturbed her. Hello, Babby.
Can I help you?
Just wondering what you're doing.
Emptying the dishwasher like I do every day, like the good housewife that I am.
Just making sure you're feeling okay. Pregnancy's hitting you different, huh?
Shut up!
I'm using words like razzing and ribbing and teasing, and they're all not quite right. What we were talking about is a very British phenomenon called taking the
piss.
That's right, Andrew.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Very good. I made a YouTube post asking anyone who is from England who watches Connor and Liana if they see him as mean, and a couple of British people responded saying that they never notice Connor nagging Liana. So maybe we are simply having our piss taken. It's hard to judge a couple's dynamic, especially just from a few short clips. Andrew and I make fun of each other a lot, as I'm sure you'll see in this very video. But I hope it comes off as a back and forth. With Liana and Connor, the piss-taking seems like it's all coming from Connor. Although, I will just note that during Nappygate, Connor was blaming ADHD. He didn't say it was just people misunderstanding his sense of humor. Maybe there's piss-taking, maybe there's ADHD. Fine, that I can all see how that could contribute. But in any case, I want to underline the fact, strangers do not owe you the benefit of the doubt. There's this one video, I forget exactly what we were talking about, but we were doing our usual blither blather while we're getting ready. And I kind of snapped at you a little bit.
Yeah.
And I said something, I was like complaining, I was like, oh, do my boobs look even? And you were like, oh, my balls aren't even. My boobs look uneven.
That's okay. Aren't they supposed to be?
Why do you keep saying aren't they supposed to be?
Like on women. Yeah, like one testicle on men is generally...
I don't care about your testicles.
And then on women...
Your testicles aren't on camera. I do genuinely at one point sound a little annoyed and shrill. Like you can hear like my voice kind of crack. And yeah. I was worried that I did look a little mean. Not like that wasn't an accurate representation of what I'm like. I am a pain in the ass, but I was worried that people would find it off-putting. Like, is that taking the piss? I don't know. I'm new to the to piss world. I don't know what counts as piss. I think I'm getting uncomfortable. I'm in the hot seat. I ended up leaving it in. If you've been with us for a while, you know Paul and Morgan taught us early on the importance of keeping things real and raw. If people see that clip of me out of context and they decide that they need to start a Save Andrew petition, I have to live with that. They didn't at the time, but I think you have more fans now, so maybe now.
Do you think they would? That's a petition? That would be so nice.
Don't do it right now. He's on the clock.
I don't need saving right now, but if I do, there will be a signal. This is my signal that I need help.
What is?
Help! Help me!
No one owes it to me to assume that 90% of the time I'm a delight to live with and a sweet and loving spouse. Isn't that right, Andrew?
Yeah.
Another theme I noticed in their videos is Liana's assertion that she lacks confidence. Looking back at their old videos, it's a little funny to hear them say, we just don't care what people think about us. And Liana says that Connor has really helped her build her confidence.
Do you care what people think about you guys? Personally, I couldn't care less what anyone thinks about me. I did go through a phase where anybody's opinion would proper have an effect on me, but I honestly just don't care anymore.
I've never cared.
One thing I love about Connor is how confident he's made me as a person.
Yeah! I've made you confident as a person?
Yeah.
You've helped my confidence a lot.
Cut to crying over people tagging them in a Matt and Abby clip where Abby is making fun of trendy influencer names.
I'm gonna be honest with you, it does kind of bug me. Some of the names that are out there nowadays are just like so off the wall. I'm like, you know, your child is going to grow up and be an adult and potentially work in a professional setting.
I completely agree. If you name your kid a name that's really cute for a kid, but then they don't have a name that could be an adult name, that is scary.
And also, some people are like so proud of like, I don't know anyone named this name and I'm naming my kid that. I'm like, that might not be the flex that you think it is.
Abby here is referencing the fact that a lot of influencers go the kooky name route, and they're not singling anyone out in particular, but a bunch of people in the comments were talking about Connor and Liana's son's name and making fun of it.
Just opened a comment section to allow all of these people who didn't like our baby name to just rip at it. It's really upset. I knew everyone wasn't going to love the name, so I'm not going to sit here defending it. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but it's just different when there's this comment section open on such a big influencer's video of people just fully grown adults just sat there slandering my baby's name. I think it's quite cruel.
I think if you're going to pick a strange name and plaster your name choice all over the internet, I think you have to have thicker skin. And I do agree with Abby that choosing a goofy name suggests you see your child as a pet or an asset to your business venture and not a future full-fledged adult. I've heard it theorized that Snuggy's name is just his YouTube name, but I don't think Liana would have cried like this if that was just a code name. They announced that they were going to name their second baby Sandal.
Sandal Darlington, to be precise. So at first, when we said the name, we were like, I don't know if this is a bit too abnormal, but obviously we don't care. If we like the name, we're going to use it anyway.
This was misdirection, and they later announced a completely different name. A less common name, but still definitely trendy, but not quite as odd as their older child's name. I assume that they just realized that they get a lot of attention from weird names. Connor and Liana's SEO-driven artistic choices don't end there.
Yeah, my favourite prank that I've ever done on you was probably the proposal prank.
That was horrible.
It was horrible.
Why is it your favourite?
Because it was the one I got the best reaction from.
There's clip after clip of them being like, oh, it's happening, it's a proposal. They also have that fake wedding video that I mentioned from 2020. This is a very view-conscious family channel. And when channels will annoy or mislead their audience for attention, I think it should make it clear that the parasocial affection is a one-way street. But this kind of grift has an expiration date. You can only string people along for so long. Eventually your audience will grow up and catch on to your little tricks and get wise to the fact that you are adults using a toddler to pay your bills. That's all I have on Connor and Liana. This is probably the last full video from us before the new year. We'll post a couple more videos to Patreon probably before the end of the year, so check us out there if you're interested. And happy, merry everything. And comment below what influencers you'd like us to cover next. It doesn't have to be just family vloggers. I'm open to others. And I'll post a list of the ones that are already in the works soon. Yeah, so happy new year, and we'll see you back here in 2026. Woo!
Cryptids, conspiracies.
Cryptids, conspiracies. Yeah, whatever Andrew wants next year.